On this episode of the Infowars News Blitz, Indiana voting fraud activist dies. Trump says Ted Cruz's father was linked to the JFK assassination, and Ted Cruz drops out of the presidential nomination. That and a lot more, so stay tuned. For the week of May the 9th, 2016, this is the first article today here, and it's an article written by Kit Daniels, and the title is called Indiana Voting Activists, Fraud Activists Behind Rubio Sex Party Leaked Found Dead. And the underneath it says, bloggers who exposed voter fraud died right before primary. Voting fraud activist Gary Welch, who tipped off Infowars' Wayne Madison on Marco Rubio's phone sex parties, was found dead leading up to the Indiana primary. Police found Welch's body in the apartment complex Stillwell in Indianapolis, Indiana on May 1st, and was quickly ruled a homicide. Where have we heard that before? Welch was a well-known lawyer and political commentator in Indiana who contributed against the takeover of the state by religious fundamentalists and opposing well-connected GOP presidential candidates like Jeb Bush, Ted Cruz, and Marco. Wayne Madison reported. The timing of Welch's death just prior to the Indiana GOP primary, one that Cruz hopes to win to keep the chances for the GOP presidential nomination alive, is troubling to say the least. A strange message was posted to Welch's blog prior to his death, stating, "If I'm not around to see the voting results, my prediction is that Trump wins Indiana with just shy of 50% of the vote." Welch was the one of the insiders who told Madison about the phone parties Rubio reported attended during the early to mid-1990s at gay entertainment venues in South Florida. At emissary Kitty Meow, a drag queen, would officiate over the phone parties, dictating participants to do what Madison reported. Some phone party participant only wore jackstraps. Basically, the guy died, and it's kind of strange too, but they may have found out who told them, and, decided to, X him out, to say the least. So, here's another, political analyst / protester dead, if you want to actually go about it like that. But, enough about that. Here's another article by Kit Daniels. The title is called Trump Links Cruz's Father to JFK Assassination. Underneath it says, that was reported and nobody talked about it, Trump says about mainstream media. Donald Trump pointed out the possible link between Ted Cruz's father and Lee Harvey Oswald, referring an investigative report by Infowars Wayne Madison. Again, his father was with Lee Harvey Oswald prior to Oswald being, shot. I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous, Trump said Tuesday during a phone interview with Fox News. What is this? Right prior to his big shot. And nobody ever brought it up. They don't even talk about that. Trump is speaking about the exclusive report from Madison brought to the public attention weeks ago by both Infowars and the National Enquirer. a Cuban hired by alleged JFK assassinate Lee Harvey Oswald, and who bears a striking resemblance to Cruz, and is seen in an iconic photograph of Oswald, Cuba, panoramics in the New Orleans in the summer of 1963. Madison reported the photo of Oswald and other Cubans hired for the Fair Play for Cuban Committee was taken outside the International Trade Mart in New Orleans on August 16, 1963. The mainstream media has since attacked the National Enquirer in particular over the story, yet it's growing pointing out that the tabloid gained notoriety for being the first to release certain credentials of the Bill/Monica Lewinsky affair to the public. And this isn't a mere spectrum over the single photo. Previous questions have also been raised by the Cruz family connected to the CIA operations in Cuba at that time, which likely opens the door for Ted Cruz's rise with the Bush dynasty. And here's a clip about that.
Well, I still think the aftermath of this Cruz leaving the campaign so suddenly after he said we're going to take it to California, we're going to take it to Cleveland. What I've been told is that people associated with the Central Intelligence Agency said to him, and probably the dad too, although he's not talking, look, 53 years later, we thought we had the JFK assassination put to bed, and all of a sudden, here's the mainstream media looking at it again. In detail, I would add, the same stuff that District Attorney of New Orleans, Jim Garrison, was looking at. And I understand they basically said, look, leave this race.
Well, Stone says he's talked to some of the other folks that knew Oswald, and that they've said, no, we knew Ted Cruz's dad. He was all part of the crew.
Yeah, and isn't it funny why Rafael Cruz, the dad, never responded directly? Because, if he would
Hold on, stay there. Yeah, I mean, if somebody's saying something true, you respond, don't you? We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Okay, thank you. Basically, you can see what this is, where this is going, right? And this could be also the main reason why in the next article why Ted Cruz actually left. If you get my drift, right? Okay, folks, we're now rounding the bend into the last article of the year, and it's an article written by, Infowars.com. The article is titled, Trump Takes Indiana in Landslide Victory, Ted Cruz Drops Out. And we all know why, too. Republican frontrunner inches closer to president's nomination. This was written by, Infowars.com. The latest win following a recent victories along the East Coast seaboard places the Hotamungo with 200 delegates of the needed 1,237 to win the nomination. With 17% of the vote in at 7:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Trump will lead the Hubbard in the lead with 53.7% of the vote, while Ted Cruz was at 35.1, and Kasich was at 86. Was at 8.6% CNN reports. Thank you, Indiana. We were just projected to be a winner, Trump said on Twitter. We won every category. You are a very special people. I will never forget. Despite campaigning heavily throughout the state and announcing Coliseum Arena as his running mate, Ted Cruz failed to gather a substantial number of votes before finally bowing out. I said I would continue as long as there was valuable path to victory. Tonight, I'm sorry to say it appears that path has been foreclosed, Cruz told a crowd of Indianapolis. Trump set to hold a press conference discuss in the victory at Trump Tower. Basically, because he's a, speech here as well. But folks, after Ted Cruz dropped out, Casey dropped out as well. So he's now the unofficial nominee. And I have a clip about that as well. So here it is.
I think this Cruz story is still generating a lot of interest. A lot of JFK assassination experts are weighing in on both sides, saying it's a nonsense story. I'm being attacked by a few of them, but I'm also hearing from those JFK researchers who say, yeah, we never could identify who that guy was, and it looks like it could be, in fact, Rafael Cruz.
Do you think that's why he punched his wife and elbowed her as he was hugging his dad? Maybe it was just some sort of way he was so mad that he dropped out of the race, and maybe Dad asked him to drop out.
Yeah, Carly Fiorina, she fell off the stage, and he didn't even try to help her, and then he hits his wife Heidi with his elbow 3 times. So yeah, maybe he's reacting very negatively to being told to pick up your building blocks and your Tinker Toy set and just go home.
Yeah, we got to protect Daddy and his CIA cover.
Okay, thank you. You see, folks? And I think I know why Ted dropped out. Remember the previous article? Yeah, that one. It was the one that linked Cruz's father to the JFK assassination. That one drove him out. Didn't want nobody finding out about his connection to the CIA, and I think that's what did him in. He's like, nope. You need to get out, and he was really pissed off about it. He hit his wife in the face 3 times with his elbow as he turned. He wasn't happy at all. He looked like a really pissed off guy. When you hit your wife 3 times in the face with your elbow, and then Carly Fiorina fell off the stage and not go and help her? Boy, that says something there. But anyway, that's all the articles I have for you today. If you have any more about the article, please go to this below or go to Infowars.com or PressBack.com. Thank you for hundreds of articles just like the ones I have read for you today. This is Infowars News with Info Gun of Life of Film Number 3. Please like, subscribe, and donate. Bye-bye.